Well, every parent wants their child to attend a safe school, but how do you determine what's safe?
The I-Team examined police calls to dozens of schools in southeast Wisconsin, and while we found a lot of police reports, we also found a glaring flaw in the way crimes are reported.
Investigative reporter Jermont Terry is here to explain. Jermont.
The I-Team spent months collecting stacks and stacks of crime reports from suburban schools in southeast Wisconsin. Some schools had a lot of police calls, while some had none at all. But we found those numbers can be deceiving.
Whether it's learning the ABCs or studying for the ACTs, parents expect their children to be safe in their classrooms. Safety concerns prompted these moms to pull their kids out of Kenosha public schools.
One of my concerns was our local or our district middle school.
That's why we chose to go to a charter school where we're hoping that it's safer.
But are public schools less safe? To find out, the I-Team contacted districts and police agencies across southeast Wisconsin. We requested every incident in which police were called to a school in the past 3 years. We received hundreds of pages of documents. Police responded to schools for all kinds of reasons: drugs, weapons, fights, thefts, and even sexual assaults. Here's a look at some of the schools with the greatest numbers of police calls. Trimper High School in Kenosha had 21 drug cases. 21 fights were reported at Horlick High in Racine. Police found 9 weapons at Waukesha North High School. Indian Trails High School in Kenosha reported 20 sex assaults in 2011. Lincoln Middle School in Kenosha had 5 sex assaults in 2012.
I think the sexual assault surprises me, especially in a middle school setting.
Kenosha police said of those sex assaults reported at the middle and high schools, many of them involved inappropriate touching. 2 were later determined to be unfounded claims. There was 1 serious case at the high school, which was a second-degree sex assault. But even those numbers alone can be misleading, according to Peter Palchowski. He's a retired detective who runs the Wisconsin School Safety Coordinators.
To the untrained eye, it looks like our schools are in deep trouble. But the fact of the matter, you have to consider a number of things.
For example, some principals may call the police every time there's a fight or theft, but others may deal with the problem internally by simply breaking up the fight or finding the stolen item and returning it. Sometimes principals have an incentive to deal with problems internally.
Too many administrators don't want to see police cars out in front of the school. Too many, but there are a lot who embrace the police.
There are 424 school districts across Wisconsin. When it comes down to reporting crime in our schools, the state does not have a standard crime reporting system. There's no way to guarantee every district reports crime the same way.
One principal might be very good at reporting a lot of things, while another might hold things very close to the vest and report very little.
And that means schools that report to police everything appears to be less safe. It also means schools that report to police next to nothing may not be as safe as they appear. What's the solution?
I would like to see standardized reporting because it would take the guesswork out of these kind of statistics.
I think this is another component of that we have to now start to consider.
State Senator Paul Farrow is the vice chair of the state's Committee on Education. He says our data proves the current system is not making the grade.
The way it currently is it currently working, and do you have the right information?
I don't think if I were to say as a parent, could I go to the school and find out what's happened in this school? I don't know if we have the right information that we're going to give out to the parents.
And these Kenosha moms who opted for charter schools agree.
There should be a consistent model of how schools are reporting this, because otherwise you're not comparing apples to apples.
Now, Senator Farrow says he will attempt to introduce legislation to address a standard reporting system. Our expert recommends parents ask questions to school leaders and find out if the district has a working relationship with their police agency. At the end of the day, there's no foolproof way to determine if your child's school is truly safe, but one thing is sure, that parent involvement is the first step.
Yeah. It seems like standard reporting is just common sense.
We'll have to see what happens in the State House.
Thank you, Jamal.